So there's a higher probability of a little squeeze, but there's much better odds as a short because of the travel distance. So if you're going to take a trade, then the probability is with the longs for the squeeze, but better odds for trailers actually with the short side, because I think the upside is limited. That's just me, because of the distance from where we've gone. And truth be told, I think range is the more likely scenario. So I'm not thinking a big move in either direction, but I like the short side only because I think there's better odds for it that the big boy will say, okay, let's squeeze back a bit. And I don't think that's a huge edge either. I just think that's where we are compared to where we were. It's just more of a common sense thing. Problem is bots don't have common sense. They do whatever you program them to do. So if you are thinking short side and plunge, good luck with that idea. That's doubtful. If you're thinking hit and run, risk a couple, make a couple, then that's probably the best way to think right now. Now, I don't believe the high is in for the day. I think we'll take out the high before we're done. Be very surprised if we don't. Just a nasty looking chart. And 11:30ish, we're back down here, 2605. That's a pretty big poke with the use of the leverage from the Panama Canal trade. Float it up and then squeeze. And traders can't get out. That's the problem. So they got to pay up. That's usually why I find that the first few minutes are in this type of move are certainly more bullish than they are bearish. Because these traders, they're going to reduce part of their position if they were short. A little divergence here with the SP and the NQ. And my guess is the IB is going to be a fairly small range. Just a nasty looking chart. So far overdone. And then the snapback, here's where we left off in here. And then the snapback. And it's a squeeze type pattern, unless we start bleeding back into, the middle, come back under this 50, 52 area here. Shorts are on the hook yet again. CK made some great comments pre-market. I'll post those obviously at the end of the day in our post, but make sure you make time to read them. Got a lot of great comments there. Normally traders are taught to cut their positions in half. If they're going the wrong way at the open, cut them in half. And then hope that you can come back and get some of it later, but at least reduce your exposure. That's the reason why I'd say that early, I think the shorts are still on the hook to even take out this high. If you're about at 62, stops up. Figure the 65 target is probably the next one they're looking at before thinking about that 68. So for those of you who like the short side, said the best odds may be from new highs. Gives you a little bit more room. Allows the aggressive shorts to get squeezed out. And you have to be willing to miss a trade. Here's our double top test. I think the biggest problem today is limited range. And this is where your bots really shine because they have no clue of where we were the other day. They're just programmed, okay, buy 54, 75, still supportive. Not taking that out. I said, that's our squeeze pivot. $15-minute chart. A beauty. Anybody at the double top test, stops up or capture, your choice. If you're not in the trade and doing nothing right now, that's okay too. There's a tough open. Thank you, Zeke. Let me see. I think that showed up on my spreadsheet. Thank you. I've got 67.75 first, though. But thank you. So that's 67.5, 67.75 would be the first target that I have identified. And the one you've got actually makes perfect sense too. Thanks. Great post. So this chart, the 15-minute chart here, is keeping us honest about being above the blue line. Don't forget, we legged off of the 60-minute chart, right? That was a 60-minute chart that we legged off of on Friday. And then we get up above the blue line and gap up, and here we are still squeezing. So my suggestion, the shorts need to be patient, look for opportunities. There should be some profit taking at some point. And that's why I said, if you're a bot, you'll be able to buy this unemotionally. Okay, here's that 64, 75, 65 target. Next, we said 67, 75, 68. So I'm going to use that 68 as the primary next target. And as resistance. So 65 to 68 as the resistance zone now. Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy market right now. And you got the beginning of the month money coming in. And let's face it, Trump had a good weekend. Anybody paid into 65s, good for you. Was our next predetermined target. And if you want to short today, do not think about a killer short. Doubtful that's going to happen. I felt the biggest problem today would be limited range for us to work with. That may or may not be true. Who knows? But paid for sure by 65. Yes. Go back and look at the early morning notes. Look at the notes that were put in there yesterday, last night. Whenever you cannot take out the squeeze pivot, that means we're going higher or sideways. Doesn't have to go higher. It could just chop sideways.